Hello, my sons. So, Nintendo decided to drop this little gem. And it's sad. It's very sad. And they definitely did this before the the Mario movie release to very much cushion the blow and publicity. But I've never seen Nintendo ratioed like this. Or I haven't seen him ratioed like this since Metroid Prime Federation Force, which still has 100,000 dislikes to very few dislikes. Sorry, I just don't remember the like ratio just because of how bad it is. But I want to watch this, and I have to read the comments for you because they're priceless. I can't even. Oh, it's 2 minutes, so let's just watch this again. It's not even 2 minutes.
Did you know the Nintendo Switch 2 system has two types of physical game cards? The first type are standard game cards.
Oh God.
And the second are called game key cards. These cards are marked with a key icon here.
I love how Nintendo still acts like we don't know what the key cards are. Because we know what they are. We just don't want them. And I'm not, you know what, I'm dunking on Nintendo a little bit too much, right? Because Doom the Dark Ages did a similar thing, and other games have done it. I think Modern Warfare for PlayStation 5 did it as well. Where it's just digital DRM, which just says you own the game. And I think it's imperative to think, but it's also Nintendo. It's not very, like, in your face about it. And I would, if I ever do that, like, talk show kind of thing where I, like, talk to, you know, important people and such, you know, I would definitely ask Reggie his thoughts on the key cards, just because, I mean, it's Reggie. Like, come on, man.
They also include this information on the front of the packaging.
Also, this says sample on here, right? But they had to make this little graphic for Pokepia. So either they know it's a game key card and are soft admitting it, or worse, they're just, you know, just admitting it. Like, I just, it's so bad.
Game key cards don't contain any game data.
No, they act as a key. We know this. Thank you, Nintendo, for telling, you know, the 60-year-old grandmother who definitely cares about this. Or, sorry, not 60-year-old grandmother, 80-year-old grandmother who doesn't know what a key is.
Here's how to use them to play games. After inserting the game key card, connect to the internet to download game data.
And mind you, the Nintendo Switch has to stay connected to the internet, even for, like, games you've downloaded. So, like, I have 3D All-Stars for physical and digital, but I got digital first. And actually, I lost it during my Galaxy 2 review, but I have to get another one eventually now. So, but it, yeah, no, it doesn't work unless you're connected to the internet. So that sucks. I think there's a way around it, but it's not like a common thing.
Before purchasing the game, make sure you have enough space available.
Love how it's the only two, like, Nintendo games available at this time outside of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, but Nintendo doesn't want to show that off, which I don't know why the game is coming out to really good reviews.
Before purchasing the game, make sure you have enough space available in your system memory.
Yeah, because the Switch doesn't have much memory, like, at all. That's why Cyberpunk 77 sold really well on the Switch too, because the actual game is on the cartridge.
You can find the full game download size on the packaging here.
And I think that's why they did it too. I think that's actually why they did the digital game key cards. It's their workaround for the fact that their system does not have as much memory as a Steam Deck, which is really bad, considering also Steam just unveiled the Gabe Cube. I call it the Gabe Cube. It's just so, I can't. Anyway.
Let's start the download. When you insert a game key card into your system for the first time, a prompt will appear to begin the game download.
Yes, because it won't take you to the eShop, because that's an extra step that someone would definitely know that something is wrong. That's an extra step that someone will know something is very wrong.
You'll need an internet connection for the initial download.
Too bad I have, like, Verizon, and I mean, like, the cheap version. Oh god, 2 hours later and my 300 megabit speed. It's all good.
Download is complete. You can play whenever you like with the game keycard inserted.
Pokepia does not. I have a lot to say about Pokepia, but it's fine.
And when you want to play another game, simply swap out the game keycard, just like standard game cards. You can also use the game keycard with another Nintendo Switch 2 system by simply inserting the card.
It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. Because Nintendo knows that if they didn't allow people to use the things they buy, which they still kind of don't, because once the service ends, it's... You know what, actually, at the end of this, I'm going to put Sherry Cherry on TikTok. She made a nice video about it. I'm just going to download this and then link the video down below, and you can tell her I said hello, because it's a very well done explanation in, I think, like 30 seconds. Wow, terrible. Anyway, so yeah, and then, oh, by the way, Jordan Fringe, 7 hours on Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I am almost done that video, but let's go to the comments section. So, where's the comments section? Oh, is it because I'm doing the half YouTube thing? I mean, there's the dislikes. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this up. Okay, so the answer was absolutely, because I don't know why I can't half screen comments, but sure. They seriously think people do not understand. We don't want them. Exactly. How to use game key cards. 1. Identify game key card. 2. Return game to shelf. 3. Exit the store. And mind you, these are like the top comments. My gosh. See a physical game key card. Put it in the trash. And now listen, I think that's a waste of a game. You know, even mine, the one that's on Steam, is, you know, it's any game is worth preserving, am I right? Step 1, how to use game key cards. Don't. The comments are crazy here. Oh, man. I love how they put peaceful music like people don't hate this. Game key cards don't contain any game data. Yes, Nintendo. Say it loud and be... This one takes the cake. This one, gosh. And, like, Nintendo can't read the room that their fans are hardcore gamers that actually like to own the things that they want. Or that they have, you know, I mean, I still have, here, you know, sneak peek for the Christmas episode that I've been working on. You know, like, I still own, where's the Nintendo one? Ah, there it is. I still own this. I still own it. It's sad. It's very sad. Oh my gosh. Cyberpunk makes a PS4 game size fit and work. Somehow Switch 2. I have the physical card now and ran it perfectly the whole time, and the dev teams are just like... Yeah, honestly, like, I think it is just laziness because they don't want to put it, you know, fully on hardware that can't run it. Because imagine if Nintendo asked for help from... I mean, they got NVIDIA, but, like, I don't think they, like, even... Like, I don't know, like, they must have been doing it since 2017, making this chip and not upgrading it along the way, and I think that's very telling of Nintendo, right? You know. Oh my gosh. No one is confused about what game keys are. We don't want that. Make your fan base hate you entirely. Speed run world record any percent. Honestly, you know what? It's true. Nintendo, as much as I love them, has had the most anti-consumer practices, and I would pay John Meebo or Swizzle or any of, like, the I'll say evangelical Nintendo fans. I'll get them whatever game they want. I will do whatever they want. Just I'm gonna call them out. Like, just say something negative about Nintendo that everyone else is saying, right? And maybe they have. Maybe they've softened their views. But, like, every time I see them, it's like, positive Nintendo this, positive Nintendo that. And even Scott, which, by the way, props to Scott the Woz. I thought he was actually going to totally grift when it came to the Switch 2 launch because he was invited to New York City and such, and he didn't. Which actually surprised me, so good on you. I don't think you'll ever acknowledge my existence, but hey, you know what? I think, they have some guts to leave comments on. It's true. Because, like, dude, I can't, they do have guts to leave comments on. And you know what? I think this might have been made, like, maybe within the first week of the Switch 2. Just because they didn't want any more bad press that this thing is getting, just because of how bad it is. It's really bad. We don't want game key cards. They defeat the purpose of collecting physical games. And as someone with a big shelf, yeah, I'd say so. The dystopian ukulele core music. I am a Nintendo fan. I want to assure you, Nintendo, I don't like game key cards. I've been a Nintendo fan for 20 years, and you have done so many anti-consumer practices that anyone would be wow, anti-game key card ad. Even every game key card ad is an anti-game key card ad. Just describing the benefits is enough. My God. Literally, this is just it. Mind you, like, within the span of an hour, I told a friend about this, and the dislikes jumped to like 25,000 from 20,000. At this point, it's still at 25,000. And people are like, oh, the metric for this is I remember posting about it on a TikTok. It's got like 25,000 views. And people were, like, defending the fact that, like, oh, the plugin to see likes and dislikes is, like, it doesn't work. And I'm like, dude, like, I mean, like, I think it works enough. There's no way Pokepia should... I agree. Pokepia is gonna be, like, Minecraft, but, like, so much worse. Yeah, I want my games on a card, not buy an empty shell. And honestly, even the actual, like, the actual things themselves, right? Like the cases and stuff, they're empty shells. They are empty shells, and it's very sad, actually. I can't wait to have so much money for not supporting game key card. Yeah, that's true. I mean, honestly, if it's, like, not like a Nintendo exclusive and it's not a game key card, just buy it on Steam. That's my like... my actual go-to for this. How kind of Nintendo to leave an instructional video on why your Christmas morning was sour. My God! Jeez. Now, to come to Nintendo's defense, I've had some really good Christmases because of them. If buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing. That's true, because you never owned it in the first place. I mean, like, you didn't steal something that wasn't there, I don't condone piracy of, like, newer games, per se, but I also don't condone not giving consumers actual, like, products. And, like, people are like, oh, Steam, like, with, them removing games. If you bought the game, you still technically own it. They've removed countless games, and there's even workarounds to still get those games. So, I think that Steam, people are saying, oh, Steam is monopoly, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's because they actually just give their consumers what they want, like that ecosystem of Steam stuff. And if Nintendo was on Steam, like truly on Steam, that would cripple PlayStation and Xbox, and no one would buy consoles anymore. Nintendo is literally the crutch that is holding the gaming industry together. I went to check if the comments were disabled. Surprisingly, they aren't yet. Yeah, that's true. I don't even know. Can you, like, turn off likes and dislikes? I don't know if you can, but this thing has 200,000 views in less than 3 days. And there's very few things that could get video gamers to come in that quick, short form, right? I think they turned off likes and dislikes. Can someone make a new account and tell me? Because that would be very interesting. Oh my God, we know how game key cards, we don't want them. Nintendo's very tone deaf to their fans. It's showing here. It really is showing here. We don't want this junk. We pay full price, $70-$80 prices for games. We deserve to have the full game on the cartridge. That's very true. That's very true. Nintendo treating their players like babies. Honestly, that I feel like because Nintendo has a wide range of like old and new, I feel like it could be that they're doing this for the older people. But even the older people wouldn't be behind this because they actually got things that they wanted back then, and they actually were able to keep those things. Everyone disliked that. The audacity. Nintendo really just gave us the finger. My gosh, yeah. Okay, buy a physical Nintendo Switch 2 games. Okay, Nintendo. Game key cards. No, Nintendo. It's true. Nintendo is inching ever so closer to just being like Xbox, and we don't want that, and I don't think even Nintendo wants that. Because that means that they don't have to put effort into anything anymore. Nintendo acting like these aren't the worst options in every possible way. It's true. They're very tone deaf. Put the game in the card, little bro. That's very true. That's very true. No one's gonna buy. And mind you, like Spawnwave did a really good job of this, where he he went over the sales and stuff. And I thought about doing that, but this is more fun, and this fills out until the next episode comes out. I think it's a nice little reprieve. I wish I had a second channel to do this with, but I'm not Scott, so I'm not going to pretend to be Scott. Plus, if I ever had a talk show thing, it would be like games and world news and stuff like that, because I like to be a little educated, on different topics and stuff. And, it wouldn't just be games. I've made mention of this before, but, I want to interview. I would love for, like, the first 100 episodes to be all developer interviews. I think that would be, like, I'd hire an editor, I'd get 100 devs in, and you know what, that would be really cool. Old and new, I would kill to talk to Greg Kirkhope. I really would. Oh my gosh, these comments, not the royalty-free ukulele. That's true. I think that's, oh my god, I think that's actually from, isn't that a YouTube sound thing? I don't know. I will never buy a key card game. Yeah, no, I don't think I will. I don't, jeez, it's really bad, because I got bad internet, man. I'm gonna be honest, I got that, that cheap $20 a month internet that doesn't really do much. Let's see here. Oh, my homie's Hinky cards. Everyone disliked that. It just goes down for more hate, and I'm looking for step 1, avoid them. Step 2, only support games with proper physical cards like Sonic Racing Cross World and Hades 2. That's very true. I'm very surprised that Sonic Cross World was a physical game, just because the Switch 2 version of Sonic X Shadow Generations was a game key card, and everyone hated that. So much so that my amigos over at Nintendo Friends, they bought the Switch 2 version. And I said, screw you, I want to own it. So I went and I got it for like $20 on the Switch. And I haven't regretted that at all. Gotta be honest, that was probably one of the highlights of it, and I posted about it too, just so that other people would follow suit. Right? And, whether it's 50 or a million people saw it, I think that's, very telling, And Sega's been hitting it out of the park anyway recently, so I don't think they do something that stupid like put Crossworlds on a game key card. Right, Sega? I hope not. Anyway. Entirely defeats the purpose of owning a key card. I love not owning the things I purchase. That's very true. You will own nothing and be happy. We don't want game key cards. You hate your customers this much. And honestly, Nintendo has done so many things to hate on their customers. And just as much as they've done things to love their customers. Okay, I'm going to say it's a 75-25 split. I'm going to be honest. 75-25 split. Because, and I think that's why it's so hard. And I think that's one of those things where it's like Nintendo does so much against its consumers, which seems like base level stuff like tournaments, like letting Smash Melee into Evo, even though the only way to play it is on a CRT on a GameCube. Like, dude, like, no. You know, and I think that's one of the reasons, because I want to do the why Nintendo loves you thing, but it would be so many more personal things than actual, like, substance. So I don't know how, I'll probably put my personal stuff in there because, you know, during Hurricane Sandy, I lost my, like, Wii and, like, game, you know, data and stuff. And granted, they were able to at least pre-download stuff, and they couldn't save the same data. They could not save the game data, sadly. It was really bad. But, yeah, what's next? A Quick Guide to Lung Cancer by Marlboro. My gosh. Oh, man. Yeah, no, this is really bad. Game key cards don't contain any data. So why have them at all? The entire point of the entire point of digital is the convenience, not needing to put a cart. Yeah, honestly, yes. Like that's the plot. That's genuinely the plot. Because they've lost it. They've actually lost it, because that's genuinely the point, is that, oh, digital was for convenience. Like, for example, the Sonic 4 Episode 1 thing is very convenient for me because I could just use OBS to get the footage instead of using a game capture card, right? Like, I could actually do that. This is just malarkey. You know, all of it's malarkey. Every day I smile knowing I didn't buy into this trap. I don't know if he's talking about the Switch 2 or not. I'm just going to assume it's like the Switch 2 in general, because like the Switch 2 in general, that as someone who bought a Switch 2, I'm not like Wood, where I'm gonna, you know, and I love beat 'em ups too. I don't want him to think I'm dissing on him, but I'm not going to sit here and say that the Switch 2 isn't a little underhanded when it comes to stuff. And I think it was also because, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but they didn't give out like dev kits. And I think that's like very telling, because that's why we don't have a lot of games right now. Heck, we don't have a lot of games that aren't like ports even. You know, Sonic Generations, Hogwarts, the Puyo Puyo, I think, was a port. One anime game or whatever. Point in case, it's like all Nintendo being Nintendo, I guess. We'll go with that. I like the era when games belong to us, and after you purchase them. That's true. I miss the GameCube days. The game key cards are pointless. Here for the comments. Yeah, that's yeah. I wanted to wait until there was enough comments here. It's just a lot of... Oh, okay, here. As a collector, I am frustrated by this. Nintendo claimed to be putting their physical media on cartridges, and that key cards were able to help partners with larger file size to access the Switch 2. Nintendo owns 30% of the Pokemon Company. Okay, so I think... It says sample, so we don't know yet if Pokepia is digital only, but I would guess yes. ZA was ZA is terrible. I don't know how Nintendo let ZA onto that console with that quality. Nintendo, did you know? Yes, we know. We hate it and still refuse to use it. It's not that we don't understand the game key cards of Nintendo. We absolutely know what they are. That's why we dislike them. That's why they're so tone deaf when it comes to this stuff. My gosh. Dear Nintendo, nobody wants the game key cards. They're terrible for game preservation. Inconvenient and take care. Oh my gosh, these are terrible. Oh my gosh, game keys and how they work. You gotta be kidding me. This is just everyone. It's unanimous. 3,700 Nintendo employees like this video. I can imagine the ninjas in the office just liking the post, hoping for the best. Alright, well that one is... I'm just gonna wrap it up there, because I think that's very telling of Nintendo, more so than its community. It's more telling of Nintendo. Nintendo knows how to, not only buy the shovel, but dig the hole too. Because, well, they're not buying it with the keycard money stuff, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah, so, alright. This is very telling. This is very telling. Alright. Later.
What are game key cards, and why is everyone so mad about them? Let's talk about it. So one of the big reasons why people don't like these cards is that once the service for this game actually ends, even though you own a physical cartridge, you actually will not have access to that game anymore. So say 15, 20 years down the line, that game is no longer yours even though you have a physical copy of it. On top of that, you would actually have to download these games in order to play, despite also having the physical card in front of you. And it requires internet, of course, so if you're in a spot where you can't download this, you would have to wait until you have internet. But you would also need to have the cartridge inserted in order to play these games, although you download it. On top of that, it also takes up storage space on your Switch. What's everyone's thoughts on this? For games like Pokopia, will you be buying a game keycard, or are you going to resort to buying it digitally?